So let's get started. So can you please tell us a bit about when you and I started having classes? So why did you reach out to me? What, because your German was already quite good. So what were the things that you wanted to work on, that you wanted to improve?
So it was mainly in June 2022 where I came to you, came to you related to starting our German classes. Because that's the point where I was looking for someone as a one-to-one coach. Uh, a coach rather than a teacher, and I still feel that it was more that you were coaching me rather than being a teacher. Yeah, so I will try to make this differentiation later. Yeah. Yeah, so before coming to you, basically I tried a lot of conventional courses, conventional German classes and online courses and stuff, and I was okay with my German. I would not say I was very good to the level of B1, but what I really lacked from all my previous ones where I was still not confident in my B1 level even. Yeah, so probably if I would have taken taken an exam, or I might have passed it, but still I might have not been confident in many sections of it. Yeah, especially talking about my fluency in German, yeah, or speaking skills. Yeah. So I was not very fluent in German. And if I have to give a little bit of history about me, why even I wanted to pursue a little bit stronger about it, because I'm there right now for more than 10 years in Germany, but I never pursued very strongly in improving my German language skills. Although I did time to time, did some online courses and stuff, as I said earlier. It was when I have to look into my working background. So I was always working as an engineer in an international company, working with international projects. So it was really not a necessity for me. And it was more that I do my work, I give my output, and that's it. It was more of this way. But from last year, from the beginning of last year, 2022, I moved from, I transitioned myself from an engineer to a managerial role. Yeah? And that was kind of my trigger point, or starting point, where as a manager, I have to come across various circumstances where I could not avoid German. Yeah, and I need to also, it's also within, so there are also people, direct reports who are quite traditional in German. And sometimes it also necessitates, although it's an international company, it is sometimes needed that from my part as a manager, it's better to also improve my German and understand the German way of thinking. Yeah, it's one is about the theoretical part, but the other is about the practical part of German thinking. And that's was kind of the trigger point for me where we all made this up. And in June, I basically started with you.
So you said you wanted to mainly work on your fluency, on your confidence. Do you feel like these things have improved throughout our course? And can you think of some things that helped you specifically with that?
Was not very much theoretical base. What I mean by theoretical base is more, it was not like okay, there are these lessons, 10 lessons, and we need to cover these 10 lessons. Yeah, or lesson one, lesson two, with a standard or a typical book. Yeah, it was not really of that sort, but it was more personalized, I would say. Yeah, each and every lesson was quite personalized. Also, some topics were really, for me, very much tuned to my working culture. So I was really focused on how do I improve my working proficiency in German? Yeah, because this is completely two different aspects. One book, we will learn a lot, yeah, of our general aspects of how to live in Germany, probably, but there are also like a lot of working aspects in Germany, which it's difficult to learn in a traditional or a conventional class. Yeah, and that's what I really liked in your particular course going ahead. And also, I would say things where, okay, we had also different parts in it, yeah, about speaking, about writing, and also a little bit of grammatical. We did not completely script grammatical part. We also had in every section a particular grammar which we practiced, yeah. But also we try to integrate this into our into our topics or topic of discussions as well. Yeah, so that's what I really liked. And at the end, also for sure, as you know, your kind of a key plus point was also that you corrected or you noted down all the mistakes which we did in the whole class, and the last 5 to 10 minutes we spent in all the mistakes. And I did not see this in any previous lessons, and I did not know my weaknesses even. It was only from you I got to know where I had my weaknesses, and probably it helped me later that to understand or establish my weakness, that this is my weakness and I need to work on it. And it really, I think, over a consistent period of time, it really helped me. Yeah.
That's nice. That's great to hear. So you were saying earlier that for you there's a difference between a coach and a teacher. What would you can you expand on that? Like, what would you say the difference is between those two?
Yeah, thanks, Laura, for the question. First of all, if I had to say priority one, or for the main first topic would be, if as a teacher, always there is always a structure linked to a teacher. Yeah, so that they need to follow a set of predefined rules and regulations for it. That, okay, if this is a particular topic and this is a particular book and this is a particular topic which they need to cover at this point in time, and they have to finish it at this point in time. So there's a start and end point to it. But as a coach, it's more towards perspective of the student itself. Yeah, so what does the student needs? Yeah, so basically looking back to the student's needs and then bringing it back as a into the structure. So the structure is quite flexible, yeah, open to it to adapt to the needs of a student, and also going one step beyond the structure to also cover different aspects. So it could be that a student could be quite weak in his speaking skills, yeah, or on a particular grammar portion, but then putting more focus towards it, independent of the time frame and also the number of classes. Probably we might cover more and more classes with as a coach, yeah, on a particular topic. But in a teacher framework, you cannot do that. You don't have this flexibility. You need to stick to your own rules and regulations and go step by step. Although the student might feel weak on a particular part of a grammatical, like for example adjective. Yeah, I know how many we probably did a lot of adjectives over our course of time, because I was also quite weak. Yeah, and
Yeah,
so that's one of the main differentiation factor between a coach and teacher in my perspective. And I think
that's
I would
interesting.
classify more you towards as a coach rather than a teacher.
Thanks.
And I think that's also what, if I remember right, I think also you knew my weaknesses and stuff. And I think after some months, couple of months or stuff, we also came back to the same topic in a little bit more advanced, and we also tried to again revise it, because as a student and as an executive in a company, I don't have time to revise myself again and again on the same topic, and I also have to move on. But probably you did not move on, and you brought this topic again, because I completely forgot on it. But then again, we revised this topic, and it came into, so bringing really into the subconscious mind. Yeah, so that's what you try to achieve over the course.
Okay, vielleicht könntest du uns noch kurz auf Deutsch erzählen. Du hast ja gesagt, du wolltest dein Deutsch verbessern, um mehr Deutsch auf der Arbeit zu benutzen. Benutzt du denn jetzt mehr Deutsch auf der Arbeit mittlerweile? Traust du dich, mehr Deutsch zu sprechen?
Ja, ich habe erstmal, ich habe keine Angst mehr in
Mhm.
meiner Arbeitswelt. Ja, ganz ohne null, ne, null Angst. Das war nicht die gleiche die letzten Jahre, als ich ein Manager gemacht habe. Ja. Aber jetzt, ja, mache ich auch viele Meetings auf Deutsch. Ich kann das alle verstehen
Mhm.
jetzt, ja, was meine deutsche Kolleginnen oder Peers ja, sprechen in diesen Meetings und so. Und ich kann alle diese Notizen machen. Ja, und das ist super. Ja, das kann das. Aber früher war das nicht die gleiche. Ja,
Ja, ja, ja. Du hast ja auch gerade, also dass du sagst, du hast keine Angst mehr auf Deutsch zu sprechen, finde ich
ja,
super. Ja, weil du hast mir damals auch erzählt, dass du so ein bisschen immer versuchst, es zu vermeiden, auf
ja,
Deutsch zu sprechen. Und du denkst du, da hat unser Training etwas gebracht.
definitiv sozusagen. Ja, das ist ja. Und auch, ne, das ist immer eines theoretisch, ja, wir können so viel lernen auf Deutsch, aber wenn das kommt als ein Meeting oder so mit einer typischen deutschen Kollegin, aber das ist ganz anders, ja, ganz anders, weil, ne, es spricht, wir können nicht alle verstehen normalerweise, ja, weil es spricht nicht mit aller Grammatik und so. Und das war auch die beste in unserem Kurs. Auch haben wir das so viel probiert als eine mit dieser Umgangssprache und Redewendungen und alle diese. Das war auch super tolle Dinge, was normalerweise Menschen oder Deutsche benutzt, ja, in jeden Tag. Ja. Und das war super. Ja.
Ja, stimmt, das haben wir auch viel.